In this video, we are going to talk about Pengu or Pudgy penguins, some of its recent price action, the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of Pengu to go in the coming days and weeks. So we'll look at the weekly chart, and as you can see right here, we have this trend line on the chart that Pengu has broken down below from, and then in the recent weeks, we've seen Pengu starting to bottom out and actually creating a very slightly higher low. This is basically the same level as Pengu bottomed out in June. So the price action for Pengu in the last few weeks has been a lot better than what we've seen in the previous months. We've seen Pengu just continuously dropping. It dropped about 75% from the top back in July to this local bottom in December. But then since then, a couple of weeks ago, we've had a very significant green candle, and it is looking like Pengu is starting a trend reversal, and it's looking like it has bottomed out. Of course, in the last few days, we've seen Pengu actually dropping slightly, but the structure is still looking pretty decent, and it is looking a lot more likely now that Pengu will get a rally all the way up to the next significant resistance area. The first pretty significant resistance area would be this local high from May, and then the next one would be the trend line. A rally from here to the high from May would be a rally of about 30 to 40%, and then to the trend line it would be a rally of about 80%. This resistance area for May is not very strong. Pengu really only reacted to it once in the past, and the trend line is a much more significant resistance area, and it will likely struggle with it a lot more. And in my opinion, as long as we see Pengu continuing to hold above this local bottom from late December of about 0.009, as long as we don't see Pengu closing a weekly candle significantly below it and continuing its downtrend, even if we only see Pengu just consolidating in the next 2 weeks, I think that as long as it holds this area, we will likely see Pengu getting all the way up to the trend line sometime in the next few months, because I am expecting Bitcoin to continue its relief rally. Even if we are in a bear market, I believe that Bitcoin will create a new lower high back above 100k, and once that happens, this will likely lead to the rest of the crypto market following it, at least to an extent. And I think that Pengu getting all the way up to this trend line would then be pretty likely. But of course, with such a small market cap meme coin, it's incredibly volatile and unpredictable. So even if Bitcoin does eventually get the relief rally, if it takes too long and Bitcoin first starts dumping or even just consolidating for a while, then Pengu could just continue dropping. And as I said, if it loses this crucial support area at around 0.008, then it would likely lead to Pengu continuing to drop a lot more, potentially even all the way down to this next support area at around 0.004, which is basically the all-time low for Pengu. So generally, I would say that the structure for Pengu is looking a lot better now than it did even a month ago, but it is still very reliant on Bitcoin and how the rest of the crypto market does. If Bitcoin continues its rally very soon and heads over 100k, and maybe we see Ethereum and some altcoins following it, then Pengu will likely continue to do pretty well and get a pretty significant rally, potentially all the way up to the trend line, as I said. But if Bitcoin starts dumping from here, or maybe even just consolidating for a while, then Pengu could actually struggle a lot. As I said, the thing to look out for is whether Pengu continues to hold this support area and doesn't create a new local low. Generally, I would personally avoid being heavy into meme coins at the moment. Of course, this is not financial advice whatsoever, but in my opinion, until we see Bitcoin doing a lot better and heading towards new all-time highs, and Ethereum follows it and crosses 5k, I don't think that it is very likely at all for us to see altcoins and especially meme coins doing very well. As a whole, of course, there can be some exceptions, and Pengu could be one of those exceptions, but I personally wouldn't bet on it. And I think that it would be wiser to first wait for the larger coins, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, to do well before we can expect to see the rest of the crypto market doing well, especially the lower market cap altcoins and meme coins as fragile as Pengu. So yeah, again, this is not financial advice whatsoever, but that's just my opinion at the moment. And that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you want more updates about Pengu as well as other altcoins and meme coins, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.